Mm-mm-mm. Welcome back to Screen Fiend, and this is the movie review for Queen and Slim. Queen and Slim is a story written by Lena Waithe and directed by Milena, was it Matsokis. Now, Lena Waithe wrote this screenplay, and I can tell you all about the fact that she definitely wrote this screenplay. I didn't know who wrote it before the movie started. I didn't know who wrote the movie, didn't watch a documentary on the film. I went in blind and said, I knew Daniel Kaluuya was on it. I noticed the poster. I saw the trailer. Don't remember seeing Lena Waithe's name attached to it at all. So this had nothing to do with her. But the writing to me is sea level at best. At best. It looked like they had another white cop, pulling over a black couple. And what had happened is Slim and Queen going on their first date. They meet each other on a blind date, and the date don't seem to be going well. It was going all right, but it kind of seemed like there wouldn't have been a second date. They met on one of those dating sites and decided to give it a try. So they go out on this date, and they run into a situation in which they run into the officers, and the officer and the situation goes a certain way. There's a firing, and next thing you know, they're accused of cop killers, and they're being manhunted down state by state. The media has called them cop killers. They're on the front page of every newspaper. And from that point on, our story begins. Now, they're on the run with neither one having any money on them. And over time, they build up a relationship and a bond, and they actually become close. That part of the story I connected to. That this is somebody you're stuck with right now. You guys are both in the same boat and nowhere out. There's no way out of this. You guys are now bonded together, and you guys are not even a couple. So as they go on this adventure together, the bond between the two, they become more like united and closer than any two people on the face of this earth. Queen and Slim. Now, this really plays on the tension between police and unarmed blacks. We've seen this from all of the films we've been seeing these past years. This has been the narrative of police and violence, and it's just intense. This just played up on it as if it was a Lifetime movie. That's why I said the writing was very spotty in situations. Some of the decision makings was made along the way, kind of made it more like a Thelma and Louise type of movie, where they're just doing these little things that don't even make sense. But for the movie and film purpose, like we need them doing stuff than just actually going out. So Yeah, why don't you hang out the window and, just do that? We're on the run. It's like for brothers, it's like, look, if you on the run, you ain't got time for that. You ain't got time for a lot of the stuff that happened in this movie that you will not believe. I don't even want to tell you. I was turning over in my chair some of the stuff that they were doing. I thought these were two of the dumbest characters ever put on a screen, let alone a couple. I'm like, they're gonna get caught in about 45 minutes. Cause I'm like, this is the stupidest couple I've ever seen in my life. Like they have no survival instincts whatsoever or what to do in situations. They are making it on basically pot luck. And that's that. Like straight up potluck. And for one police officer to get shot, to be a state by state manhunt for one cop, nah, wouldn't have been that big. Plus, how did they get her identification when he only ran his information? It was his car. How they get her picture? How did they get her info? It was just a little things like that happened throughout the film. But what I did love about the film was the shots. Melina did a great job of taking great shots and scenic shots. I love the way when they sat at the dinner table, how they used the round table lens. I love stuff like that to go around the entire table to stop on her and Slim and go into a like almost like a still frame. I love that. I love stuff like that when someone is trying, to mix with the colors and everything and what they were doing, and it really made the characters stand out. Now they wouldn't have been recognized as fast as they were if they'd been anything like smart for real. But for people with no money, they made a lot of decisions that were like really dumb. And it really made no sense. Some of the stuff that they were doing. But it fans the flames of what's already going on in the world right now today. This is just another film, just like The Hate You Give, that kind of fans the flames of the pain and the grief that everybody's going through across the whole country, dealing with police excessive police violence. And will this movie stop it? No, it's just going to incite a lot of people to respond in an angry manner. And you're going to feel a certain way when this film ends. I give it 2.5 stars out of 4. That's my review. I don't know if you guys saw the film or not. Thanks for the super chat. I do appreciate that, Mr. Finley. I mean, I know LB. I don't want to tell scenes of the movie, but yes, there are some scenes in this movie that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it was supposed to be a date night movie, but we got too much going on to make a date night movie. Right now it's not date time. No, it isn't. Watching this with a woman, man, some of the dialogue is so comical. It's like you wouldn't even take it seriously. Like I said, this comes off like a Lifetime movie. From the dad who got hit by the car, that scene, every word he said sound like a Lifetime movie. Oh, thanks, Kevin, man. I appreciate it. Well, let's put this in perspective, LB. This film was made by two lesbian women who are sleeping with each other. Let's keep that in perspective. Two lesbian women wrote this movie and directed this movie. And you know what was missing from it? A lot of masculinity. What was unrealistic? A lot of the male characters. I mean, it was just so unrealistic. It was funny, like what he was saying, but I just found that to be very unrealistic. A lot of things that happened in here were like very unrealistic. The black cop and the white cop talking to each other, having that conversation, that was just poor writing. Poor writing. Poorly done. That's what I meant by the writing was spotty. Did you see that scene? Did that make any sense to you whatsoever? That conversation. For those of you who've seen the movie. Yeah, 21 Bridges is my movie. I mean, I would, if I had time, I needed to see something to get my mind off everything that's getting ready to come up, you know? It was another way. Well, like I told you, there was a lot of things happening here that were taking place that was either bizarre or excessive, to use a better word, excessive. I mean, there's a lot of things that everybody would have did if this was real life. I don't. That's why I gave the movie 2.5 stars. There's a lot of things in here that just could not relate. And of course, one of the black guys had to be made to be looked out as the bad guy in this situation, or just a scumbag. It's always typical. No, it's not a bad movie. Don't get me wrong. It's just you. Once you see it, you understand it. I mean, LB is in here ruining the movie for everybody in the chat just because he couldn't wait to talk about it. But no, it's not a male bashing film at all. It's not that at all. It's just the male was more of a passive male, and she was a strong black woman, and they found a balance within themselves. He was effective without being an alpha, and they took steps to make him look like dominated by. First off, if this situation ever happened with me, she would have been told from the jump, shut up. Shut up. This is what I'm doing. Now, if you want to go, I mean, if I wanted to call him an idiot, maybe. When Bodine, who plays the same character in almost everything he do, uh, when he looked at him and told him, "You ain't it," basically playing down on him as being somebody who could stand up and do all these different things. He was a beta and an idiot. I wouldn't say the movie made him look bad. He looked like a gentleman. He valued her opinion. He had his frustrational moments, but it was certain situations where his voice was silenced and just made him to be stupid. And just like LB said, a lot of the stuff that happened was just plain dumb. I mean, you on the run, G. It's like you on the run, B. Y'all act like y'all just taking a cruise somewhere and y'all could chill, and just all these little side things they were doing was really irking me. But I'm like, get there, get there. That's what I'm like, man, look, get there, get there. Slim equals black man, queen equals black woman. That's BS right there. Oh, queen. Anybody can be a queen. But queens have to be selected by kings. Now, like I said, I treat a woman like a queen, but she has to realize that I'm the king. And that's all I've got to say about that.